Good morning, Dan here with the 30-foot dory build. This is going to be a real short video. Today again is my day off. It's Wednesday, and we had a heck of a storm yesterday. It started while I was at work, working outside. It was windy, large chunks of snow coming down, larger than I've seen all year. And they say sometimes that happens in May. Well, check that out. Motorcycle got covered up. That tarp usually gets blown off. I'm glad it didn't this time. What you're seeing here is the aftermath of a very short storm. It started midday, I think, and went on, well, into the evening. So what I'm gonna do here, sorry about that, I'll show you what I'm putting up with here. This is not California. it just snows all over the place. And you know what? The stuff comes down with no warning. It can be a beautiful day on a Saturday afternoon. By Saturday evening, it could be snowing heavy. Now, when I got home after my 10-hour shift, this tarp on top of my structure, covering my dory here, had a lot of snow on it. Now, the snow that came down was really wet, so it was heavy. So I had all kinds of buildup, a lot of stress on it, but it held up. The tarp's not ripped. The winds were pretty strong. It was blowing snow almost sideways. So yeah, some of the snow did get underneath my structure. Some of it a little bit, not much. You can see the front of my boat here. All the front end here got a little wet. But this part doesn't bother me because it's not going to move, and I think what it's going to do for me is help this wood take shape. It was a lot of stress in it when I was trying to close it up, and I believe it getting wet like this might help take some of the stress out of the wood. So it got a little wet, so it ain't going anywhere. I had, let's see if I can show you here. On the other side here, right there, that low end, right in the middle of the camera there must have been about 18, 19 liters of water in there. I'd say about 5 gallons worth when I came up here last night to check it. I just did it again this morning, pushed the water out of it. It hangs over the 2x4, so the water builds up. The rest of the tarp had snow all over it. It was just sticking to it. I thought it would have just came down, but it didn't. So I had to go with a broom and push the tarp to knock all that snow and water off. And boy, did it come down. There was a lot of weight up there. You wouldn't think it would have been. You can just barely see it through the tarp. So as you're pushing it, I mean, a whole bunch of stuff came off this tarp, fell on the ground here, and I'm glad the tarp didn't collapse. Really, I'm glad the tarp didn't collapse. The wood, but surprisingly enough, the wood was not affected. I have one spot here that the water was dripping through the tarp from up there. These blue tarps are not waterproof. Okay, they're just designed to provide a little bit of shelter over whatever it is you're covering. They're inexpensive. I got this one on sale. I was lucky. I bought 2 of them, 20 by 28 feet. I was thinking of doubling it up, putting the other tarp over it too, but I'm just going to see until I actually get into a lot of my covering here. Like, I got a couple of sheets in here, as I showed in my last video. So until it gets really scary, and the water becomes, I guess, uncontrollable. I'm not going to put a double tarp over yet. It's not serious. I got a little bit of water down in this corner over here, right over there. I put a piece of wood up in front of it. That corner is open there, so I'm assuming that the rain and the wind blew that snow into the corner, and it didn't distort my wood in any way, which is good. I mean, I don't want to expose it to too much moisture, as I said in my previous videos. It's not waterproof wood. Now here's a couple of drips coming in through here now, and the water seems to be just coming through that tarp. Just, I don't know. I know the tops at the peaks where it rubs, it's worn a little. The water's probably coming through there, sitting on the 2x4s, and right there, you can see it gets worn up there because it's the pressure point, you know, right on through. The water comes through and runs down the 2x4, and it's now dripping on the side of the boat, which it wasn't doing when I was out here earlier. So that's a new development. After I finish this video, I'll have to do something about that. I'm trying to keep the boat dry here. I was supposed to pick up some poly and put poly over it also. I never did that yet. Construction grade poly, vapor barrier, 6 mil is what you call it. So yeah, so today is a very snowy day. It's the aftermath of the storm yesterday. I'm supposed to have a couple of crappy days here until the weekend. Hopefully the weekend's going to lighten up. But it is May here in Alberta, which means anything is possible when it comes to the weather. So today is a wasted day. I won't be out here working on it. I had enough of winter. Of course, as you know, I work outside during the winter time, and the last thing I want to do is subject myself to more cold weather. So I'm bringing a little baby today, and I'm just coming out here to do a quick video on the amount of snow we got yesterday. I don't know if you're subjected to that kind of weather where you're working. I continuously watch many videos. When I come home, that's what I do. I get on YouTube, I watch videos, I find as much as I can on boating, just to see what other people are doing. And some people are very lucky. They've got good weather, warm weather in the States. Canada here, we're just starting to thaw out. May is very early. This is the long weekend. We're usually supposed to start planting on the long weekend if you're planting whatever. And I don't think that's going to happen this weekend. No, maybe next weekend. But it'll clear up. We just got to be a little patient. Of course, I've been pushing very hard to get as much of this as I can. I got 3 weeks holiday coming up. I mentioned it in my videos. And over the span of that 3 weeks, I would like to actually make sure that the entire hull is covered in plywood and everything has been shaped, planed. All the excess wood has to be removed. This one was installed the other night, and you can see that I haven't. This is not even leveled off yet. It's close, but it's not quite finished. There's still about 1/2 inch of material behind here. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Whoa, sorry, ladder is in the way. So the project is going good. It's going good. I'm determined to finish this. So I'm putting as many hours in as I can when I can do it. And I'm getting a little excited because it's really starting to take shape. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I've never done this before, so I'm getting a kick out of it. It's certainly keeping my extra time, using up my extra time. That normally I would just be sitting in the house watching TV. Well, now on the weekends on my day off, I'm out here when the weather's permitting. And I like it because I hate sitting around. Sitting around kills me. It's like we only have so much time on this world, right? just to sound silly about it, and I just don't like to sit around and waste that time. I like to be up and doing something, and this is the big reason why I'm building this boat. I also build model planes, and I'm a little limited right now. That is also an expensive hobby, but with the COVID-19, they're now setting restrictions on how many can go to the field and how far apart you've got to be, just like everywhere else. And you know, to pack up the truck and get the gas and load the plane and run down to the field, believe it or not, I just don't think it's worth it, because I go down there to socialize, because I can go down there for 8 hours, fly once, and just stand around and talk all afternoon with the guys and watch the other planes. So I'm scrapping that idea for now until things get better. I'm in my yard, and this is where I'm spending my time. I believe it's the 19th today. I've taken my motorcycle out, and I haven't even ridden a half a kilometer with it yet. So yeah, I'm prioritizing my time, is I guess what I'm trying to say, and this is what I want to do with my time. And I think the finished product's going to make me really feel good, and is definitely something I'm going to be able to use. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at here. Sorry my videos are not as exciting as some of the videos I've seen posted on YouTube, but I'm not here to be exciting. I like just to remind everybody that I'm here to share my project with as many people as I can, because videos on YouTube are far and few in between on people actually building dory boats. There is one fella, I'm sorry I've forgotten his name, I've watched his videos many times. He builds a flat bottom boat. I think it's called a power dory. The front of it's curved up on it a bit, and I think it's a 19-foot boat, and it's lime green when he paints it. When it's all done, it's a nice bright lime green. I love the color of the boat. He takes it out in the water, walks around in the shallows, and that's what they do. And he's done a really good job on his boat, and he's really done a fantastic video on his build. So he had that figured out. So I'm not that fancy, but I am sharing every step of the way on this project. And I'm also doing what I notice a lot of people don't do on their projects. Mention their mistakes. Every video I watch, they'll talk about it a little bit, but this whole project has been an experience for me so far, and I am sharing every single bit of it with you. So if you're planning to build one, if you watch my video, what not to do, that's me. But it's getting done. You know, you learn by your mistakes, and I'm making many, and that's okay, because I'm fixing them as I go, and I'm videotaping as much as I can. I've removed, and I shouldn't say removed, I've actually stopped videotaping the work, because I don't think people are interested in watching me work on it, because my responses to my videos, be honest with you, are a little weak. And I don't know if it's just me, maybe I stutter a lot. I know I forget the names of a lot of products when I'm talking about the boat. You think I'd know that by now. You know, the shear log, shin clamps, frames, I was calling them the ribs. There you go, I did it again, frames. The ribs, I was calling them frames. You know, it's like ridiculous, but I just got to live with that. You know, I think by the time I'm finished, I'll know it all. You know, I was, you know, like the deck. This is the deck area. I was calling it the floor. And Jeff Spira's catching this stuff. And he's correcting me on it. You know, he said, hey, you know, that's not a floor. It's a deck. And I should know that by now. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. I really do. If somebody doesn't call me out on it, I'll just keep on calling it a floor, right? Yeah, so terminology, I guess, is important, especially for the boys and the girls out there that are actually using the terminology for everything. You know, shear clamp, shin log, frames, deck. It's important. It's important. I'm entering a boat building project, and wood is wood, but you know, there's right terminologies for everything, and we got to use them. Because if you don't, they're going to call you out on it. You know, hey, that's not the front of the boat. You know, hey, that's not the back of the boat. And those are the responses I've been getting, and it's great. No problem. I like it. You know, I'll get it figured out. But this is where I'm at now. It's a cold day. It's snowing outside. Well, it was snowing. I don't think it'll snow anymore. I think the snow's done. I didn't hear nothing about snow. Once again, I'm using 18 millimeter birch. Now, there was some discussion on my prior videos and responses from the crowd, thinking that 18 mil, it's just a tiny bit thicker than 3/4 of an inch, that it might be a problem to bend it around the radius of the hull. I'm working with one clamp. I'm working with also one bar clamp and quick grip, which are almost useless. I see people using them. I have to. I bought a long time ago, and that's it. That's all I have to clamp this wood into place. So I'm figuring out how to lift the wood to get it up there. I'm putting all this on by myself. There's about 85 pounds of sheet. It's heavy stuff. But I figured out how to lift it. It takes a little time. Square it up. Get the bottom clamp here. You can see that's the way I do it. That's the first place I clamp it, is at the bottom corner. Then I lift the back of the sheet over here. I lift the back of the sheet. I lift the back of the sheet over there and get it as close to that seam as I can. Here. Now all these screws here, this is a butt joint, I believe it's called. I have a piece of 12-inch plywood in behind here to help support that seam, and this is the way it comes out. I haven't done nothing yet. Now all those screws are going to come out. They're the wrong size screws. I got to get an 1.25 inch screw in there just so it'll be able to go in so far. These are long screws. They're 2.5 inch. They're just making it far enough in there to grab that wood and hold it together. So I'll have to get a different size screw for that. But you know. Now I'd like to mention one more thing too. Somebody said they were using a product, a glue out of a tube, 5200. I don't know what 5200 is. I know it's a caulking type of glue. You squeeze it on, probably spread it on your frame there, on your shin logs and stuff, right? You'd cover this in glue, you know, all your frames in glue here. You cover it all in glue. Then you lift your sheet up and you mount it and clamp it down and you start screwing it down. Now, he said he was paying $20 a tube, and I thought, gotta be good stuff, but I can't pay $20 a tube. Now, the funny thing is, 5200, I understand they use it for mounting motors, is where I saw it on a video. And he's the first one I heard using it, building the boat, like applying sheets with it. Everybody else, I believe, was either using an epoxy-based glue, or they were using construction-grade glue, which I've been using, and I tested it before I actually used it by gluing a couple of 2x4s together and prying them apart, and it actually ripped the 2x4 apart. So there was still 2x4 on the glue on both sides, like when you pull it apart. So I figured, well, if the sheet's going to be screwed down and you're using construction glue, and this stuff is waterproof. Construction glue is waterproof. It will not break down if it gets damp. It will not break down if it gets wet. So everybody else is using it, so I did. But this gentleman made a comment that I don't know about that construction grade glue down. Hopefully it doesn't get wet. Well, obviously he doesn't know anything about construction grade glue, but he knows something about 5200. There's all kinds of products out there, guys. What you use is your business. But please do what I do. Test out the product before you actually use it on a large scale on your project. So I tested out my construction grade, they called it 3X, and the other one I used was an 8X, and it's supposed to be even stronger. I haven't had a joint let go because of the glue. So just giving you heads up out there in case you hit a video and or somebody makes a comment on your Facebook, and or you see something and you make a comment and then they come back and tell you, hey buddy, this is good stuff, and then at the same time I had another fella on the same blog, and he turned around and he was paying $16 a tube. Again, price varies everywhere, okay? The stuff I picked up was 3 times the other day. It was on sale for $4.65 a tube from $6 with change. So, hey, I picked up 3 tubes. So, and it's working. It's working. Yeah, it's working. Sorry about the jiggling. I'm holding it up with my hand here, and I'm a little chilly this morning. So, but I'm proceeding here very nicely. I feel the structure's sound, the glue's holding, the screws are holding, and I think I'm gonna let you go now with this particular video on this beautiful summer winter covered day. Yeah. Okay, so listen, y'all. Take care. Happy building. And if you have any comments on my videos, nobody has left any comments since I started this back in June. It's okay. I guess you like what you're seeing. Please leave comments. I'd appreciate it. And you have yourself a good Wednesday, because today is in the house day, so I'll have to find myself something to do. Take care now.